Ballistic has finally been reworked in Apex Season 29. Instead of only being a supportive fragger who annoys enemies with weapon overheat, Ballistic 2.0 can be built two ways: an aggressive entry fragger who punishes enemy for shooting back, or a supportive fragger who silence high value targets before a fight starts. In this guide, I'll explain what changed with Ballistic, why Whistler is both stronger and more balanced, and how different upgrades change your playstyles. Starting with his passive, Ballistic still has access to a foot weapon for his sling. You can run two close to mid-range weapons and keep a long-range weapon option in the sling, making you more adaptive to any fight. For example, you can run an SMG and shotgun for aggressive fights while keeping a marksman or AR in the sling for longer angles. He can also now respawn with his sling weapons in all modes, which is a welcoming consistency fix. Now for the biggest part of the rework, Whistler now has two charges. The overheat duration is increased, and if the affected weapon overheats, the enemy takes 50 damage, which is a lot from a single tactical. The key trade-off is, overheat now only applies to the weapon the enemy is currently holding. Swap to a secondary and that gun won't build overheat. As you can see in this example, the enemy swaps weapons right before overheat, avoid the overheat damage and animation, and wins the fight, something that basically was impossible against old Ballistic. This means timing matters a lot now. Throw Whistler from too far away and good players will just swap and move on by using it right as you swing, or it's mid-reload and they have far less time to react. That's where new Ballistic gets scary. You're not just stopping enemies from shooting, you're forcing a bad decision, shooting back and risking 50 damage and the overheat animation, or swap weapons and lose time mid-fight. Either of the outcome works in your favor. Tempest now gives a sprint boost instead of a full speed boost, making it slightly less oppressive to fight against, but it's still very strong. Gold sling weapon, infinite ammo, improved reload speed, and faster distance coverage for your whole team. This also makes your sling weapon choice more important because that weapon becomes your upgraded fight weapon during Tempest. Use it to start fights, chase kills, third-party squads, or rotate under pressure. A strong push through every 2 minutes is still very valuable. For upgrades, Extra Bullet gives you a third Whistler charge. It's solid if you miss often, play longer fights, or plan to pair with Quiet Time later for more silence uptime. For the pure overheat playstyle though, disciplined enemies can still swap or disengage regardless of how many charges you throw. Trap mode is a more reliable damage option. Tactical lingers in the world longer and deals 35 damage when enemies walk into it, up to 85 total damage from a single interaction. It is also more versatile. You can block doorways, hold choke points, punish revives, or flush enemies from cover. Choose Extra Bullet for more tactical uptime, choose Trap mode for more damage and area control. Quiet Time completely changes how Ballistic play. Instead of overheat, your tactical now applies silence and slow on hit. You lose the 50 damage but gain something more reliable against ability heavy legends. In the current meta, legends like Aggreszive, Gibraltar, Pathfinder, and Valkyrie can escape or store out bad fights with their kit. Quiet Time shuts that down. Hit the right target right before the fight and they can't use the ability to disengage, and the slow makes them easier to focus fire. The trade-off is it's weaker in 1v1s and needs good target selection, communication, and team follow-up to shine. Killing time gives you ultimate 50 more seconds, which is very straightforward and better for solo queue, aggressive plays, or more push potential. With the new upgrade changes, Ballistic now has two main playstyle. For aggressive entry Ballistic, choose Trap mode or Extra Bullet plus killing time. Use Tempest to close distance, while swing first to draw attention, and hit Whistler as you enter. The key is to not throw Whistler too early. You want to hit them when they are about to shoot back, so they are forced to either overheat, swap weapon, or stop shooting while your teammate collapse on the same target. For supportive fragger Ballistic, choose Quiet Time. Focus on silencing high value targets before fights to cripple the enemy team. If you silence legends like Gibraltar, Aggreszive, Pathfinder, or Valkyrie before they can use their escape or defensive tools, your team gets a much clearer push. In this example, I use Quiet Time Whistler to silence Revenant before he can use his movement ability. Because of that, he is forced to take the zipline instead of escaping freely, making his path much more predictable. That lets me punish him for massive damage and helping my team secure the win. This playstyle has higher teamfight potential, but it does depend on communication because your team needs to know who you silence and when to push. So is Ballistic Ballistic 2.0 better now. Yes, his kit is stronger, he has real build variety and more rooms for different playstyle at higher level. The trade-off is that enemy has more counterplay, but that also means a higher skill ceiling for Ballistic players. Let me know what you think about his changes in the comment. If this guy helps, and like and subscribe really helps the channel. I'm working towards 3,000 subscribers before August, so everyone counts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.